Hi, I'm C.M. Vazquez, author of the Birdcage Society Falling, an ongoing psychological mystery series. Welcome to the first video in the Read With Me book club style series. I will be reading standalone novels and novels that are part of a series, chapter by chapter, and giving it my impression of the characters, character development, foreshadowing, and just my overall impression as I read these chapters. Now, this is not a review, although I may give a review at the end of each book and the end of every series, but there will be spoilers because I will be talking about each chapter. So if you have read the books that I am going to be reading, please listen along and give me your impressions as well in the comments. And if you haven't read the series, then read with me. Give me your impressions in the comments too. But the very first book that I'm going to be reading as part of this series is actually the Dexter series written by Jeff Lindsay. And although the Dexter series was adapted into several TV shows on Showtime, I'm going to try not to talk about the TV show and just focus on the books. We'll see how well I can stick to that, especially since I don't want to give away too many spoilers for the show. A lot of shows that are based on books tend to deviate heavily from the written work, so I'm hoping not to go into that too much. But today's introduction is for Darkly Dreaming Dexter, the very first book in the series. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Jeff Lindsay, about this book cover in particular, because it is from the TV show and not the original book cover. I do believe that this is the only book that I have in the series that has the TV show for the book cover, but we'll see. I did notice on the back of the cover that I still have the store label, and I don't know if anybody recognizes this label in particular, but it's from Borders. Before Borders closed down, I loved that store so much. It was my favorite bookstore. I participated in the Borders Books program. So when I was a teenager, I would just go down to the mall and I would only have to pay maybe $2 or $3 for a mass market paperback book, which is very exciting for me. I don't know if that contributed to them going out of business, because not me specifically, of course, but maybe the Borders Books program, because it did allow for a lot of free things. I don't know what made them go out of business, but I'm still very sad about it so many years later. But anyway, this label, I used to, and I still do for the most part, I would leave the label on the books before I read them. So whenever I started to read the book, that's when I would remove the label. So that's probably what I'm going to go ahead and do this time, even though it's going to be really sad because Borders no longer exists. So pretty sad about that. But anyway, to get more into this book and Jeff Lindsay in particular, I actually did some research on Jeff Lindsay and found out that Jeff Lindsay is actually a pen name. Although his first name is Jeffrey, his last name is actually Freundlich. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's German and it actually means friend in English. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But he is a crime novelist. He has written a couple other series and some standalone novels. I think it's three series actually, 2 comic books, 3 standalone novels, which he actually wrote with his wife, and a nonfiction with his wife. Fun fact about his wife, Hillary, she's actually Hillary Hemingway. So she is the niece of Ernest Hemingway. So I thought that was pretty cool, little tidbit, little nice trivia fact. But his most popular series, of course, is the Dexter series, and there are 8 books in this series, 2 comics as a part of the series as well, and then there are actually 7 TV adaptations that are based on this character. 3 of them are animated. I haven't seen the animated shows. One of them is a short film, which I also haven't seen, but I have seen the non-animated shows. So that is Dexter, just plain Dexter. That's the first one that came out in 2006. And after that was a continuation of the show called Dexter New Blood, and I've seen that as well. That one came out in 2021. So quite a bit after the first one came out. I think there were maybe 7 or 8 seasons in the first series, and then a not really a continuation. After that, it was actually a prequel to the first Dexter series called Original Sin, and that one came out in 2024. Did not have the same actors, of course, because it was a prequel and Dexter was much younger. And now, actually currently on, for 2025, is a continuation of New Blood. And that one I'm currently watching episodically. So I figured it would be pretty fitting to read the Dexter series while that one is going on, but that show is called Dexter Resurrection. So hopefully that's mostly all I talk about for the series, but I can't guarantee anything. Another fun fact is that one of my dogs I actually named after this character Dexter. He is a Black Lab Pit Bull mix, but I just thought that was really cute. He's not really like the character Dexter in any way. He's a little baby, but I did name my dog after him. He also has the nickname Baby Boy, so it's, you know, you get the idea. Let's see here. Dexter, the Dexter series is a crime thriller that follows the life of Dexter Morgan. He is an American forensic blood spatter analyst, and he works for the Miami Metro Police Department. He's also a serial killer. So that does kind of help him in his cover-ups of murders and finding people to murder. It's also helpful in that line of work. This is just all stuff that I know from the show, of course, but I love fictional serial killers. You'd think I'd be into true crime because of it, but I find fictional serial killers to be a bit more interesting than the real ones. There's more depth, and that goes for all fictional people, really. I mean, sometimes you just get far more depth from people that don't exist. But I think that avid readers and writers also can attest that sometimes these characters feel very real to us, and we get very attached, which makes sense. We're living their lives with them. And yeah, so anyway, this is my first time reading the series, going chapter by chapter and discussing it. Again, there will be spoilers, so please don't come into it thinking that this is just going to be a review and I'm not going to give away anything, because I will. I'm going to give away everything. That's the point. I'm going to discuss about it, and if you've read it, again, or just want to read it, join me for all of these impressions.